didn't turn sideways. I'm actually trying the internet out here, attempting to. I'm not sure how good the internet is here. I figured I had a little bit of time. I will do a live stream for a little while and go on about my day. We've been on the move, kind of learning where to park, where not to park. And been asked to leave a couple of spots. I was literally handed a notice to leave one spot. They actually give it to you in paper, or on paper. Trying to learn how the system goes for stealth camping and van life thing. But of course, with it's difficult to say the least. It's difficult. Then you got to find a good spot in the sun to get the solar panel to charge up the system, because the system's not very big, so it has trouble running the fans that we run. I got to get some batteries and another solar panel. Anyway, the idea is to stealth camp. As soon as you park, it gets hot, the windows start coming down, curtains start flopping in the wind, and the door has to come open, and then the dog is roaming around the front of the van, and it becomes something no longer considered stealth. Nothing about it is stealth. Everybody knows you're there. Although we have found a couple of spots that were pretty good, but with our phones being off, we've been trying to seek out places with internet. So, no, little. I am all the way over here, so you got all that room to roam. Don't tie yourself around the chair. But anyway, it's definitely a learning experience. I mean, we traveled all over the place in that Montero Sport. But man, when we were parked anywhere, I mean, it wasn't noticeable that we were there. I mean, you can't hide this big old white, I don't even know what to call it. It's a bus. Well, the back end is a bus, but the front end's a van. It's kind of like the shuttles, but it's not a shuttle, it's an actual bus. Well, the back end is. Anyway, so those of you that were curious on how we're doing, this is how we're doing. Found Plasma Center, and that's been keeping us going for a little bit, and we was able to stay a couple of them hot days over at a buddy of mine's, but we only had a couple of days, so. As big as the bus there is, it doesn't hide very well, so they only allow you to have company for a couple days at a time or something over there where my buddy is. So yeah, so that's the updates. What else? Is anybody gonna say anything? I'm gonna leave it all to me, huh? I need one of those tripods, something I can put my phone up on. Walmart has pretty good internet, but I found a lot of the smaller places, like the smaller food place, like there's a donut place over here not too far. They have guest internet. That the internet seems better. The only problem is that every 30 to 45 minutes it makes you reconnect. But it works. Let's see. I really don't know what else to update anybody on. I haven't really done many videos because I haven't had good enough internet. This internet's holding in there pretty good. It's good. Well, at least I know where I can do a live stream at. Right? Been trying to connect with some like van lifers and ones that are traveling around in vans and buses and stuff, and try to get some ideas or maybe some leads on some kind of maybe camp host kind of thing or something for campground or something like that, some kind of something to that effect. I do have one opportunity that presented itself the other day. I've been praying about it. I really didn't really plan on leaving California, so I'm not sure that I like the idea at all. But it's a work camp kind of thing out in New Mexico. So it's still a kind of a desert-like out, but it's going to be it's not quite as hot as it is out here in what they call Death Valley. Yeah, I don't. It's not quite as hot, but it also gets colder in the winter too. So I'll have to start gearing up for that too. It's a daggum shame. I had everything we needed for winter. I was working on the summer stuff. I had everything I needed for the summer too, but I ain't got nothing now with it. I got all my winter clothes and everything, so. And all my socks. I got one pair of socks. One pair. Having to sit still and kind of lay low for a little while because I haven't had any leads on any kind of work, and right now I can't afford to waste the gas, so I don't go back to do plasma until Tuesday, so I'm gonna have to sit still for a little while. I have 20 something miles, I think. That's sad. We watched that mile counter on that fuel tank, because even though gas prices dropped pretty good, man, they're doing really good now. I still can't seem to get any daggum gas money. Things ain't the way they used to be. Those of you that want to get out and travel, or things aren't the way they used to be, for sure. And it's just getting worse and worse. I have a cousin of mine down in Louisiana that she sent me some information on what they're doing with the homeless and stuff down there. They Governor, Senator of Louisiana or whatever had he passed a bill there where if you caught like homeless, you can be fined. You can be forced into a rehab facility in which you pay for yourself, or you can be jailed, or you can be put to work with no pay. Yes, slavery. If you're homeless, they can throw you into a slavery situation in Louisiana. If you don't know what I'm talking about, or you want to see some more on it, just look up my name on Facebook and go and look at the couple of posts that I've done that talk about in Louisiana with the tents and people living in them and stuff. And it's really sad that they did that, especially considering it's Louisiana, man. 90% of the homeless population down there is homeless because of acts of nature that have taken away everything they have, taken away their home, taken away, their homes or cars, or some of them lost their whole families and everything. And they were, and some of them are, they got hit so hard. I mean, I went to Louisiana after Katrina, and I went down there to do a bunch of work. This was years before I went to Slab City the first time. But after Katrina hit, me and a buddy of mine went down to Louisiana, and we went to work cleaning up stuff. We went to work for a company that was gutting the houses, gutting all the mildew and everything out of the houses. And so we got a first-hand sight of a lot of the devastation that happened with that hurricane. And me being from Louisiana, I've been through hurricanes myself, and We had a hurricane when I was a little kid that I vaguely remember parts of it, but I remember we were up on top of the house, and the water was past the edge of the gutters. It was coming up the roof. I remember that part. It was rather traumatic. But my point is um, people out there have gotten everything, just like here and everywhere else. Natural disasters take away everything you got, and they put you in a situation, like we are. We've just had the worst string of bad luck for the last year or so. It seems like when it comes to work and everything. I mean, yeah, it's when we left Mississippi and went to Oklahoma, and we just it was we've had the worst luck, but people lose everything. Sometimes they're forced into homelessness, and sometimes it's depression, or a lot of times it is addictions that keep them there. But it's not always the addictions and stuff that put them into homelessness. And now they either go to a rehab facility in which they have to pay for, which obviously if they're homeless, they ain't going to pay for that. They can't. They go to jail. I guess that's helping one way. I mean, it's giving them 3 meals in a cot, kind of. But, I mean, ain't nobody wants to go to jail and sit there, and so, and what's left? You're not going to be able to pay your fines if you're penalized for being homeless, which is probably the most retarded thing I've ever heard. Or the state can literally use you for a slave. And if that don't ruffle some feathers, man, then I definitely have the wrong group of people around. That should crawl up under everybody's skin and probably piss them off. That is not humane, I guess would be the way to say it. I mean, stray dogs get better treatment than that. Well, most of them, I guess, the ones that aren't put to death. Stray dogs get better treatment. It's amazing how small your circle gets, though, when you're in a situation like this, and it gets depressing. It does. It really can. I mean, I'm doing everything I can to stay positive on this, but I just keep getting knocked down further and further. So yeah, it's hard to stay positive. But then you have to worry about whether you get caught by the right cop sleeping in the wrong place. And then you could not only lose your home again, you can lose everything. And the ones in charge over there in what I called home, Louisiana, literally signed that into a bill, like, a week ago or so? A couple weeks ago? That was disappointing. I figured it was coming. I knew that was coming from some which way, but, my home state I was born and raised, state a lot of my family lives in. Coming from a family that we've all had our fair share of homeless, and yes, I have my fair share of drug addicts in my family, and my fair share of people that are just cursed with bad luck. You know what I mean? My family is quite quite eclectic with all of the different lifestyles. I have family members in big old huge houses, and I got family members that barely live in a shack that looks like it's fixing to fall down. So I understand it from several different angles, you know. But I just think it's really shitty. I guess that's what we were talking about today, because that's what's been on my mind. I know one thing, though. I can't do this city thing too long. I'm stuck in one spot trying to get figured out for work, but hell, I'm just spinning my wheels here. I ain't found no work. I've applied several places. Several. Talked to several people. So, little. You don't need over there. So, anyway, yeah, I was looking all of that stuff up, and I'm not very happy with all of that. Especially considering I really got to watch what I'm doing. If I go down that way, and I happen to still live in a van, I really got to be careful going that way and stuff, because that's one of those states you can go into and decide to pull over for a nap and get yourself in a really bad bind. No, I don't believe I'll be going down there anytime soon, though. But I gotta find something here. Find something here or go somewhere else. That's what I come back up here for. We let the slabs come back up here so I can try to make up some money and build back up everything that I've just lost. But hell, we're barely able to skim by with just enough to just keep existing. I have to figure something out pretty soon, because I don't get something figured out. Anyway. Alright, is anybody else going to chat? No? Hello? Nobody has a comment, an opinion, nothing. We got 14 people in here, and I guess Sam ain't one of them. He's normally always the first one to say something. But anyway, yeah, if anybody gets any kind of ideas on making money while traveling, or any kind of work camps or something in the area of if anybody has any ideas like that, that would be helpful. Because seems like most all of our attempts are not working. And I mean, literally made enough to get us a pizza earlier, so we had something to eat today. Made enough change for that. A little bit of water still. Our problem is gas. We desperately need to go and wash some clothes, which means a laundromat, because obviously I don't have a washer and dryer. Well, that white van really needs to be cleaned. God mercy, I did not notice how completely dirty that is. So yeah, but we're doing all right, I guess. Not as well as we can be. We're north of Slabs up just past up Palm Springs, close to going towards Joshua Tree out that way. So hold on. Well, thank you very much for some help. I will leave that person anonymous, but the person that helped some out, I very much appreciate that. You know I do. Yeah, that'll definitely. I can at least go and do some clothes or something. Do some clothes to put a little gas in. I think if something don't work out here pretty soon, then I think I might try going towards like, I don't know, maybe out towards Quartzsite or something. Maybe out there will be a little bit kinder to us. I liked it up there at Joshua Tree, but there is nothing. There is no anything. I mean, they've got the what do they call that? The way station. They've got that one, so they've got a place that gives you a box of food and feeds like through the week. But other than that, they don't really have anything. You want to hear something really disturbing? 7 years ago, we took off in that Mitsubishi Montero Sport. Took off for that journey all over the United States. If y'all remember, we went out to Joshua Tree for a little bit. We had that little trailer, that pop-up camper trailer. And we stayed at the campsite out there in Joshua Tree. BLM land. And come off a Sunline Road, I think it is, or whatever. You come off of 29 Palm Highway, and you make that left coming out of Joshua Tree. You make that left on that Sunbelt, Sun Dawn, Sun something. You go down there a little ways, and then on the right-hand side, there's BLM land. We had 4 different campsites while we were there. We moved around 4 different times, 4 different campsites. I went to every one of them the last time I was up there in Joshua Tree a few weeks ago. I went to every single one of them. Every one of them have posted No trespassing private property. And so I started looking into it and found out that I guess government is selling off some of that BLM land, and they pushed all the BLM land back to the um, dry pond or lake bed. The land that's closer up to the road, you know, that has stakes in it with different numbers, like paid campsites, kind of. Um, I thought that was odd. I figured I would say that also. So if you know of anybody that travels and happens to go through there, tell them don't be discouraged. You got to go through where you used to go through. Keep going towards the lake bed, and you'll hit the BLM land that way. But the first, I don't know, it looked like I don't know, uh, 10, 15, 20 acres going back. Um, that was all BLM land that you could count and camp anywhere there is no longer. It's private. They literally they built little outhouses, like little campsites. But somebody went out there and just filled all the outhouses completely up to the top with trash. Nice. Yeah. If I'd have had a way to do it, I'd probably try to clean all of that out. I didn't have any way to bag all that up or know where to take it. But that I found pretty disturbing too. It's hot down in here. I'm gonna have to get up towards Joshua Tree. The bus isn't like the camp. The camp, even though we didn't have air conditioning or anything, you know what I mean? And we have the same fans that we had at the camp. They're in the bus, but that bus it retains a lot of the heat, a lot more than that camp did. The camp was cooler. It was definitely cooler in the camp and in the trailer than it is in this bus. So there's been that we've had to deal with. But yeah, I'm thinking I may end up going towards Quartzside. I know they have, I don't know, they have some stuff that they do out there that there might be a chance of something. I don't know, find something. Just pray that something starts turning around. Everything was doing great. I was going every other weekend. I was working. I made really good. And had the camp being built up really nice. I mean, I was right there, fixing to start, be ready for, for visitors and people to come in, and we was fixing to start making campsites and stuff, and I've had all kinds of stuff in there to share with people and to give to people. And oh my goodness, I had so many donations to give out. So I was just going to give it away anyway, but I mean, knowing that it went all to one person or one group of people, because they were greedy and wanted to take all of it. Not just some, all, everything. All of our clothes and everything. That was what, and that's a lot of, that was That was almost everything out of my buddy's house. Yeah, he got new furniture and stuff, and he donated me a lot of stuff. Yeah, it was doing good, doing good. Wasn't but just a couple of people that had even been in there that even knew what was in there, knew what was in that camp. There ain't but just a couple of people. Got a pretty good idea who done it. But it's always better to be the bigger person. It's not worth. I mean, it's just stuff. It's not worth going and making a problem even bigger. Doesn't change the fact that it was rather depressing to lose everything again, and again, and again. Left everything to go out to the slabs. Left the slabs and lost everything then. Went several different times, several different places. And lost everything. Ended up having to leave almost everything behind in Oklahoma because we had no way to take it with us. We come in on just a motorcycle and the trailer. Still ain't got no way to go and get my motorcycle. I still have it, but it's got a flat tire on the back of it. As long as it ain't got stolen yet. I have the title with me, so I figure when I get back that way, I'm gonna try to sell it or trade it for a couple of electric bikes or something. You know, that's what I'd rather. I'd rather give me one or two electric bikes and a bike rack, put it on the front of the bus, and that way I can park the bus in wherever, at a Walmart or whatever, lock it up, take the bikes off, and travel around the town and figure out wherever I need to, or have a way to get in wherever I got to go for some work or anything. The day labor places, they won't hire you if they know that you're living out of a vehicle. I mean, I probably could have got hired from them if I would have just told them that I lived at the address that I give them, and did that. But I don't like the fibbing. Why lie? It always comes back and bites you in the ass later, right? So why do it? But no, I have a mailing address. I have an address that you can send me mail and everything else. But no, I live in a van. Nope. Afraid I'd drive up to the work site in the van. My wife's in the van, my dog's in the van, and drive up to the job site or something, which obviously I wouldn't do that. I'd park the van somewhere and then I'd walk down to the job site or whatever. Or I'd have Selena drop me off. She's got a driver's license. She can drive the van somewhere else and go park it until I get off work. But that's what they're afraid of, I'm sure. That makes sense, I guess. I mean, I've owned a couple of businesses, but not to that, not that important to where, but yeah, I can see how they would be that way. That's what I want to see about these, maybe campgrounds or something, camp posts. I'd like to get into that because there's campgrounds everywhere, and if you can stay somewhere for a season and then get in your vehicle, go do what you do for a while, and then go to a different place the next season, you know, I think it would be fun. Hmm. Hey, I actually got enough internet for a live stream. But I think it would be fun. It'd be interesting. I mean, I like the parks and stuff. Especially the ones up north a little ways. I'd absolutely love to go up there by the Red Oaks and stuff and be out there for a summer. Wow, these freaking mountains are awesome up in here. It looks like I could just walk about a block or two and end up at the base of that mountain and just climb it. It's huge. What I need to do, find some place to just go up in the mountains and just that place in New Mexico, that's secluded. I mean secluded. That's like far away from everything. I mean, there's a town close by, but it's not a very big town at all, and it's, you know. But anyway, we gotta do some updates and yeah. Now, I guess I'm gonna go back and no. Got a few dollars for laundry. I gotta go find a laundromat. That's what I'm gonna do. Yep. Think that might make us feel a little bit better. Ain't gonna be in these nasty, dirty clothes. Yeah, I think that might make us feel a bit better. You know, got to keep up the positive mentality, and that's kind of hard to do when you're sweaty and nasty and stink and been in a bus for a day or two straight, you know. I went and gave blood last week. I don't go again until Tuesday. Selena couldn't go because she didn't have any proof of residence. So we're waiting on that. I'm sure hoping on something better than that to come along, because I cannot stand sitting there with a needle in my arm trying to take blood. That stuff sucks. It takes a special kind of person to actually enjoy going in and doing that. Anyway, wish me luck. Hopefully keep internet. If I have internet like this later on this evening, which I may have, I'll try to do another video when I can actually set up my little table and my phone stand and stuff. But right now, I believe I'm gonna go and do laundry. Love you guys. Y'all have a wonderful and blessed day. See y'all later on.